Hello and welcome to the channel. Today, I believe we have a banger for you guys. But before we get started, let me say first, I really appreciate y'all's continued support. Over the last week and a half or so, I think we've gained about 60 subscribers. And for me, that is absolutely huge. So guys, I can't say enough. I really appreciate it. With that being said, if you like this content or if you find it useful, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you like the video, hit that like button. It goes a long way in helping grow this channel. As far as my channel, it is 100% self-sponsored. So you guys subscribing, commenting, and liking, that will go a long way. For as YouTube seems like they really do not want to let my content get out there. All right. With that out of the way, guys, let's talk about the video for today. We did another comparison of the Ridgeback Defense Rhodie 6, and we compared it against what I believe to be the heavyweight champ of 5.56 gas gun cans, and that is the Specters Alleycat 5.56. And the best analogy I can give with that is if the Alleycat is the heavyweight champ, and I believe it is, the Rhodie 6 is definitely the #1 contender. They had a 5-round war, and the Rhodie did not get knocked out, nor did it get submitted, but it did lose to a close decision. And let's talk about that. Now, we're talking about overall. We're not talking about just one specific characteristic. First of all, some of this information is going to be a little redundant because I said some of it, while I was at the range, but I want to make sure that I get these details to you guys because I believe they're important when you're making your purchases. Comparing the two and talking about the specific characteristics of each. First, with the Rhodie 6, no doubt when it comes to sound, it beats out the Alleycat. With that being said, though, the Alleycat does an amazing job with its tone. It is louder than the Rhodie 6, but the tone is so pleasant that you can shoot on any barrel length I shoot it on. There is absolutely no pain or any kind of pressure to the ear. Secondly, let's talk about back pressure. They are both what I consider to be true low back pressure offerings. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean they're exactly the same. The Alleycat is definitely lower back pressure, but the Rhodie 6 is low enough and, more importantly, consistent enough from shot to shot to be considered what I call low back pressure. The shooting experience when shooting them side by side. First of all, today I went to the range and I went ahead and got all my video footage out of the way. Excuse my voice, I'm trying to go hoarse here. And then after I videoed what I wanted to video, I had a good training session to where I shot both of them a lot. I think in total today I was right under 1,000 rounds. I went through an 860 round can of M855 on stripper clips, and I had a few other 10-round clips from another bucket. So it was somewhere around 940, 960 rounds in total. So like I say, I got a lot of time on both of them today comparing them. As far as the comparison, like I said, the sound, as soon as you shoot them, it's clear that the Rhodie 6 is quieter. Okay, but like I said a while ago, the Alleycat does such an amazing job with its tone. Like I said, there's no pain to the ear. And when it comes to suppressing like 5.56 gas guns, sound is not my #1 characteristic that I'm looking at. I'm looking at it synergistically. Okay, how does it perform as a whole? And to me, the shooting experience is extremely important. And what I mean by that, how consistent, is it low back pressure? If it is low back pressure, how consistent does it vent those gases from shot to shot? And we find that out by shooting much longer strings of fire aggressively, and that tells us a lot about how they perform. Okay, as far as the comparison of shooting them, I did not detect any first round pop on either one of them. As I started shooting more aggressive strings of fire, it is noticeable, a little bit noticeably different. Like with the Rhodie 6, you are going to start to smell just a little bit of gas, and towards the end of longer strings of fire, the gas will get a little heavier, but at no time have I ever had any gas hit me in the face. Now, that's where the Alleycat really shines. Like there's until you shoot like FRT mode and towards the end of the mag, you don't even detect any gas. I mean, it is phenomenal when it comes to being low back pressure. Far as flash, the Alleycat does excellent on that as well. And I can't testify to the Rhodie 6 capability on flash reduction because I have not tested it yet. But I do have a feeling I do think it's going to perform well. As far as blast mitigation, both of them perform extremely well. As far as the characteristics of how it makes the gun behave during recoil, they both really soften the shooting experience tremendously, but the Alleycat does edge it out. But like I say, these differences are not huge, but they are noticeable. The Rhodie 6 does an amazing job. And this, in my opinion, this is a big flex for the Rhodie 6 because up till now, I have never compared anything against the Alleycat that has been able to, really compare. It's been head and shoulders above everything else. Whereas the Rhodie 6 outperforms it in the area of sound, and then in the areas of like back pressure and like recoil mitigation, it's just a little bit shy of comparing to the Alleycat. But like I say, that is no knock on the Rhodie 6 at all. To me, that is a huge compliment. It's an excellent performing silencer. I mean, I'm really impressed with it. And the fact that it performs so well against the Alleycat, again, that just shows how much I think about it and how impressed I am with it. Now let's talk about the price. If you're someone that is budget minded, the Rhodie 6 is about, after you figure flash hider and hub adapter that you have to get for it, you're still about $250 cheaper than the Alleycat. Okay, that's pretty considerable. I will also say that if like sound is your main parameter that you're looking for, then no doubt the Rhodie 6 is the one you want to go with. But if overall shooting experience, I believe the Alleycat really like edged it out. Again, when it comes to back pressure and it comes to shootability. But when I say that, again, it's not knocking the Rhodie 6. It does a phenomenal job. It's just the Alleycat edges it out just a little bit. This comparison includes two different comparisons. One is a sound comparison, and the second is back pressure. During the back pressure comparison, how I show how each silencer makes a gun behave is I use a consistent host, and then we look at how it makes the gun behave mechanically, as far as cyclet rate and ejection pattern. The gun we use today is a 12.5-inch mid-length upper with the rifle speed gas block. I had the gas block setting on 7, which is unsuppressed setting, and it has an A5 lower receiver extension where I was using a Geisley rifle length braided spring and an A5 H3 buffer. If you watch the footage, you will notice that they are very similar as far as ejection pattern, but the Rhodie 6 does have just a little bit faster cyclet rate, just a little bit, but very consistent on the ejection. And I mean, like I could put a 5-gallon bucket back there and dump it all into a bucket. Very beautiful. Also very controllable. Like I had a target that had about 13-ish yards, and it was no problem keeping all hits within the alpha and just a few like close Charlies. I mean, really, really controllable. But again, that's where I was able to see where the Alleycat just edged it out a little bit. It's just a little less input needed on the Alleycat to get the same result. And with that being said, also, YouTube, there is no automatic weapons in this video. Everything is semi-automatic and compliant with the law. Also, everything used in this video is in compliance with the policies of YouTube. So what I mean, there is no automatic weapons. It is all semi-automatic fire, meaning for every time the weapon is fired, it's because my finger is engaging the trigger. So with that, they have really been struggling with that kind of content. So I wanted to get that out there. Also, guys, something I wanted to, and like I said, a lot of this is going to be redundant. But for the next comparison, I wanted to let you guys decide. Here are the options. And whichever one we get the most in the comments is the one we'll do the comparison. We can compare the Rhodie 6 against the Dillon DRC 5.56, the Dead Air Laser 6, the Silencer Co. Velos full-size 5.56, the Cobalt Scrambler in 718 in QD, the Psionics MCTR, the CGS Size 6 with the vented end cap, the B&T Print XH full-size, the B&T Gen 1 SRBS full-size in 718, the Cat White Bread in 718 in hub, and the Cat Alleycat 762 and 718 in QD. The reason I add the AC 762 is because it does a phenomenal job on 5.56. It actually sounds better than the AC 5.56, and it is a little bit lower back pressure. So very impressive. I'm not a big proponent of using like one can for multiple rows on rifles, but the Alleycat 762 is one that it definitely fits that bill. It works very well on 5.56, extremely well on 300 blackout, 7.62 by 39, and it does decent on 7.62 by 51. So if you're looking for something, for multiple rows, that is one I definitely would recommend for that. And with that, guys, let's get to the content. And I appreciate y'all. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. And again, I appreciate everyone. And remember, love your enemies, but keep your guns oiled. Today, we're having another head-to-head sound comparison between the Ridgeback Defense Rhodie 6 and Specters Cat Alleycat 5.56. Both options are in 718 Inconel. The Rhodie is HUG compliant, whereas the Alleycat is Spectre Cat's QD, which is 1x16 left-hand Acme thread. The hub adapter used on the Rhodie 6 is going to be by Apparition Instruments, and it is a 1x16 left-hand Acme thread hub adapter. Both flash suppressors are Spectre Cat Spooky, and the rifles, for identical purposes, are basically the same. Both of them are using a 12.5-inch Hodge barrel with carbine length gas system. They both have the same size gas port. They both utilize a Hodge bolt carrier group, and both of them also have an A5 lower receiver extension. The springs and buffer used in both are going to be the Geisley rifle length braided spring and the Griffin Armament 2-piece A5 buffer, which is phenomenal, by the way. The ammo used is going to be M855 because I have a metric ton of it. So let's get it started. Up first is going to be the Rhodie 6. Next, we have the Alleycat 5.56. Today, we're conducting a head-to-head test of the Ridgeback Rhodie 6 and the Specters cat Alleycat 5.56. We're going to test back pressure on both options. The host we're going to be using is a 12.5-inch mid-length upper with a rifle speed gas block, utilizing an A5 lower receiver extension with the Geisley braided rifle length spring, and an A5 H3 buffer. Each magazine is going to have 25 rounds, and today's ammo is going to be M855. What I want you guys to pay attention to, this is going to be a consistent host. I have the rifle speed gas block set on the unsuppressed setting of setting 7. Pay attention to how it makes the gun behave mechanically. We're going to be looking at rate of fire, and we're going to be looking at the ejection pattern. And then I'll also give a description of the shootability afterwards. All right, first up is going to be the Rhodie 6. Oh, and the hub adapter we're using is, something instrument 1x16 left-hand thread hub adapter, and the flash hider is a cat spooky flash hider. Apparition instrument. All right, guys, as far as the shootability, very controllable. The gas there, about a quarter way through it, I started detecting a little bit gas. And then towards the end, I could smell some heavy gas, but never got gas to the face. Up next is the Spectre Cat Alleycat 5.56. All right, guys, very nice and controllable. Less gas. I did not detect any gas there towards the very end. I could smell just a little bit, but definitely on the Rhodie 6. The Rhodie 6 does have a little bit more back pressure, but like I say, it's not significant.